Hello everyone, this is Fine from Tech Gaming Villa. I hope you all are well. Today I'm going to talk about the two TV, the Samsung QN90B and the Sony X95K. Both are mini LED TV. The Sony X95K is the second top model of Sony's 2022 LED TV lineup. It sits between the Z95K and X90K, as well as the Samsung QN90B. It is also the second top model of the Samsung's 2022 Neo QLED TV lineup, and it sits between the QN85B and QN95B. Both of them are premium LED TVs that offers outstanding picture quality and a lot of advanced features that will improve your experience of enjoying home entertainment. Although they are produced by the different factory, but they come with similarities in panel technology. Both come with VA panel that makes them have outstanding contrast ratio. Additionally, instead of using a traditional backlight, they also already use mini LED backlight. In addition to it is smaller than standard LED backlight. Mini LED backlight also offers better control over the local dimming feature and brighter peak brightness. Both of the Sony X95K and Samsung QN90B use VA panel technology, but unlike most TVs with a VA panel that usually have high contrast ratio, the native contrast ratio is relatively low, which is around 3200:1 for the QN90B and around 1700:1 for the X95K. And this is because both of them have an anti-glare optical layer that can improve their viewing angle coverage. But on the other hand, it lowers their native contrast ratio. For this case, on the Samsung QN90Bs are called ultra viewing angle, while on the Sony X95 is called X wide angle. Fortunately, both have excellent local dimming feature that can boost their contrast ratio to around 5100:1 for the X95K and around 20,000:1 for the QN90B. That said, some websites and some reviewers. But if you see the real video, guys, the QN90B has more blooming. X95K on latest firmware update, the X95K is more inkier black and less blooming than QN90B. I have seen a YouTuber, Quantum TV, who says that the QN90B is a blooming monster. Actually, I won't believe that. But now I have seen that QN90B is more blooming in reality than the X95K. Let's see the X95K's deeper contrast. QN90B is brighter, but it produces more bloom than X95K on latest firmware. Both TV can produce deep black, making black of images look really black on the screen, even if they are set in a dark room. Without local dimming enabled, the black uniformity is only decent. When showing a black window test with white cross line at the center, the screen looks blue. But with local dimming enabled, the screen looks really black. However, there is still blooming around white cross line. Meanwhile, compared among them, the Samsung QN90B is better with local dimming enabled. The contrast ratio of the Samsung QN90B is much higher. That certainly makes it can produce much deeper black than the X95K. There may be still blooming around bright objects in dark scenes, but blooming is less noticeable on the screen of QN90B. So since the Samsung QN90B has higher contrast ratio and black uniformity in showing dark scene, the QN90B fight with X95K, especially when they are set in a dark room. Both are great TVs when used in a bright room. Both have exceptional HDR peak brightness. With real scene, the Sony X95K can get about 800 nits, while the Samsung QN90B can even get much brighter, which is around 1200 nits. The QN90B can even show small highlights at about 2000 nits, while the X95K show it around 1500 to 1700 nits. With their outstanding HDR peak brightness, both can fight the glare easily, making them great for bright room. Even for a lobby or opening room, sadly, their peak brightness is inconsistent with different content due to their automatic brightness limiter. Their peak brightness will drop with larger bright area, although with large area, their peak brightness is dimmer due to their automatic brightness limiter. but it is still very bright. The lowest peak brightness is around 630 nits, which is achieved when they're showing the entire screen is bright. In addition to have outstanding HDR peak brightness, both also have excellent reflection handling. There aren't too many distracting reflections coming from the screen, but compare between them with glossy finish, the QN90B can handle reflection slightly better than the Sony X95K. That 90K has semi-gloss finish. Combination of the outstanding HDR peak brightness and excellent reflection handling makes their performance in a bright room is excellent. So even if you watch TV in a bright room with a lot of lights or window, the picture displayed on the screen looks very obvious. And of course, the QN90B is better than the X95K thanks to its brighter HDR peak brightness and better reflection handling. On the other hand, although not good as the QN90B, their performance in a bright room is also great. Both of them are powered by great images processor. If you see the picture clarity, that can process images signal excellently, even if the source has much lower resolution. On the QN90B is called Neo Quantum 4K processor, while on the Sony X95K is called Cognitive Processor XR. Both have excellent 4K upscaling engine based on AI and learning machine. Combination between these two technologies makes the performance of the 4K upscaling engine is really great. Thanks to their great 4K upscaling engine, you can enjoy any content in 4K quality with a lot of details, even if the source has much lower resolution like DVD movies with 480p resolution or HD movies with 720p resolution. And of course, the higher resolution of the source. The 4K images produced will look smoother and clearer with more small details preserved well. Meanwhile, both also have good gray uniformity overall. When showing the entire screen is gray, there are a few patchy spots called battle screen effect near the center of the screen. And this can be a bit distracting your experience, especially when they are showing large area with the same color like playfield. Nevertheless, with real content, this should not be noticeable. And compare among them, the Sony X95K is a bit better than the Samsung QN90B. There are more data screen effect on the screen of the QN90B than the screen of the X95K, because the X95K has clear panel and the picture processing also better on X95K. If you see the side viewing angle, the used anti-glare optical layer may reduce their contrast ratio, but it significantly improves their viewing angle coverage. If on most of TVs with VR panel, black level looks faded, usually started at around 15 degrees off center and front on their screen. That looks consistent up to much wider angle, which is around 45 degrees for the X95K and 70 degrees for the QN90B. Additionally, brightness of images displayed on the screen also still looks consistent up to around 45 degrees off center, as well as their color accuracy. Color accuracy also still look consistent wider angle, which is around 30 degrees for the QN90B and around 40 degrees for the Sony X95K. This means both are LED TVs that offer both good contrast ratio and wider viewing angle at the same time. If you see the color reproduction, both of them have very good color gamut, but the X95K can deliver wider color gamut than the QN90B. In DCI-P3 color space, which is most of current HDR contents are mastered, the X95K can cover more than 96%, while the QN90B is about 93%. This makes HDR images displayed on the screen looks vivid and lifelike. However, in Dragon 2020 color space, where color coverage is only decent, which is around 73% for the QN90B and around 75% for the X95K. And this time, there may be not much HDR content mastered in Recon 2020. So this has not been an issue, but it is more of an issue if you are looking for something future-proof, because of course there will be more HDR content mastered in Recon 2020 like Dolby Vision content that will be launched. Both of the Samsung QN90B and Sony X95K has good color volume. Basically, both can produce their wide color gamut at their entire brightness range. Both can produce deep dark colors thanks to their good contrast ratio. Additionally, both also can produce bright colors as bright as pure white. With other words, the color volume is only limited by its incomplete color gamut. And since the X95K has slightly wider color gamut, of course, its color volume is also better than the Samsung QN90B. In addition to have wider color gamut and better color volume, the Sony X95K also has better color gradient also. On the screen of X95K, there is only a bit banding, especially in shades of green. Meanwhile, on the screen of QN90B, there is a bit banding in almost all colors. Even in shades of reds and green, it is a bit noticeable. Fortunately, this is not noticeable in normal content. So even its color gradient is not as good as the X95K, but it is still good nevertheless. If you feel that a banding is still distracting, both have noise reduction feature that can help to reduce banding that may be noticeable. Sadly, this feature is only work fine with low quality content, while for high quality content, this can cause some loss of fine details in certain scenes. So on color reproduction section, X95K is the winner. If you see the motion handling, the Samsung QN90B has slightly lower pixel response time, which is around 8 milliseconds, while the X95K has about 10 milliseconds, which is almost same. However, ignoring the difference, the pixel response time is equally great. This is low enough to make fast-moving images look very smooth. Following fast-moving object, there is only a minimal blur trail that should be hard to notice. As I have known, the lower pixel response time of TV may make fast-moving images smoother, but on the other hand, this makes low frame rate content appears to more stutter. Although fast-moving images may look smoother on the screen of the QN90B, but when it is playing low frame rate content like 24p movies, there will be slightly more images stuttering on its screen than on the screen of the X95K. On the other hand, the X95K is also not images stuttering free. Luckily, interpolating them to 60 Hz or 120 Hz or enabling the BFI mode can reduce images stuttering. So this should not be a problem. Since both have global dimming feature to dim the backlight, both use pulse width dimming system, and the dimming frequency is very high. Dimming frequency of the Sony X95 is 720 Hz in all picture modes, while dimming frequency of the Samsung QN90B is depending on picture mode, but its highest dimming frequency is 960 Hz, which is when it is set in movie mode and backlight is set below 46. In this condition, since both flicker at such high frequency, this makes their backlight flicker is not noticeable, special for the QN90B, except in movies mode with backlight is set to below 46. Its dimming frequency drops to 120 Hz or 60 Hz depending on setting. Meanwhile, backlight flicker that much matched to the frame rate of content is required to improve their motion appearance. This can reduce persistence blur that caused by their low pixel response time. And for this case, both of them have an optional BFI mode. For the Samsung QN90B, it can flicker at both 60 Hz and 120 Hz, which is good for 120 Hz and 60 Hz content. Meanwhile, for the Sony X95K, it can only flicker at 120 Hz. That means it only works with 120 Hz content only. While with 60 Hz content, it precisely can cause some duplications. By default, both of the Sony X95K and Samsung QN90B have native 120 Hz refresh rate panel. However, both also already supports variable refresh rate technology. As I have known, this technology can help to reduce screen tearing. For the QN90B, whether the resolution of the source is 4K, 1080p or 1440p, its VRR technology can ranges between 120 Hz and 20 Hz. Meanwhile, for the X95K, its VRR technology only works well with 1080p and 4K resolution, while it can range between 20 Hz and 120 Hz. While with 1440p resolution, it doesn't work well. Additionally, the VRR technology is also compatible with HDMI4 VRR and G-Sync. A big difference is about the support of FreeSync, where the QN90B also supports it, while the X95K doesn't support. This means VRR technology of the Sony X95K cannot work well with other devices like Xbox One or PC with RAID and graphics card. But if you have an NVIDIA gamer, then Sony X95K is for you because it supports G-Sync. So what's your thought? Which TV you choose, X95K or QN90B? But I am very impressed with the latest firmware of X95K. X95K overall impressed to me than QN90B. So that's it from now. If you like this video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications update. I have another channel named Awesome Tech Gaming Pro, where I upload similar kind of tech videos. Please visit this channel and subscribe for update. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.
To change up.